Yeah, so I'm Clément, co-founder and CTO of Formance. We build financial infrastructure. Any error is going to be critical. We have asymmetric exposure to risk. And whenever we have a bug, it's just not going to be a bug that is causing a few issues. It's a bug that could be losing the entire money that the company is taking care of. So we have this dramatic effect of any bug that we could have in the software that we write. So essentially, Antithesis definitely helps us ship faster in the sense that we can quickly get the confidence that our release is behaving as expected, but more importantly, those months of testing in prod that we would have done otherwise can be sort of crammed into a pack of hours. So essentially, yes, instead of having to wait, we can simply just ship faster and move from RC to stable in a couple of days, as opposed to like having this observation period of like a couple of weeks that we had in the past. How did we do our testing before Antithesis? So yeah, many layers as everyone, essentially. So unit testing, end-to-end testing. But the thing that was hard was to get those tests executed in the right context. So we decided to add another layer with deterministic simulation testing. And this is why and how we are using Antithesis today. How do we use Antithesis today? So it's mostly tied to our release process, and anytime we have a significant release that is making some changes in the architecture and that we want to feel more comfortable about, this is an essential step in the process, and we're able to quickly get what would take otherwise 6 months of prod of running the software. We can get that in an hour, essentially, with the test runner. So it's very much part of the release process, and especially whenever we make some structurally significant changes, it gives us a lot of confidence that, we essentially not have broken everything, and that we can get the same sort of confidence that we had with the previous release. It is definitely a powerful step of that process. So our release process tests for many things. And in a sense, it's an additional layer, but it's also a layer that multiplies the impact of all the other layers. So the unit test that we have, the end-to-end test that we have as well, they also gain in significance by being able to run on this kind of environment. So it's a whole layer in itself, but it also multiplies the current layers that we had previous to Antithesis. I would say now that we've started to use DST through Antithesis, we tend to see things slightly differently relative to our approach in writing code. We do a lot more runtime assertions. We try to get the system to crash faster. We are more confident about whether this assertion will be triggered or not in production. So we're writing code in a slightly different way in the sense that we accept to check more things live, because what live means for us is going to mean the Antithesis environment as well. So that's something we can catch beforehand, before it happens on the real live production. So we added a lot of those in our code base, essentially. So the engineers are definitely having fun debugging, especially with the multiverse debugging feature. Like, it's really insane how just being able to do it and to be able to execute command back in time is like an unheard of experience as of what we've seen so far. So it's really a whole lot of fun, and like changes the way you can start to dig into a problematic situation, and like it's just changes the process of like trying to find out clues regarding to why is this failing. So it's a whole new way of doing the debugging after you have found something. So that's really a whole lot of fun. Otherwise just a good like things to have on the side in general, like it makes your day easier. Once we started to use Antithesis, we had a very basic implementation. That is what is great as well. Like, you don't have to go all the way and take weeks to make the code a perfect fit for DST. You can just start to do things and start to get a few results. So we added a couple of assertions, used the SDK, written a workload for Antithesis, and we quickly had some basic results that were quite interesting, things that would have probably occurred in prod, but not high criticality. And then we increased a bit the coverage and the instrumentation in our system, and this is when we started to discover actual, very interesting things. It was fantastic working with the Antithesis solutions engineering team. So essentially, This was a brand new topic to us, to our team, discovering how DST works. So you have to get used to it and get into the philosophy of writing tests this way, and writing tests that will have real impacts with this kind of mindset. So having the support of the team was nothing but great. And just having this weekly interaction, and like sometimes the team brings new idea relative to a new kind of test that we can do. So it's also something that we see as a good partnership, in the sense that Antithesis can also act as an extension of the team in that way. The future of our Antithesis usage essentially looks like deploying it to more of our products. So we used it on one of our main modules today. We want to roll it out on everything that we ship, essentially. And we also want to start testing smaller things with Antithesis. Like today, we were able to test basically the whole system. And we also want to test it on smaller components and have those components break in their own way. So we have a long roadmap of things we want to test with DST now that we got used to it and understand how to leverage it properly. So I would say to engineering leaders trying to see whether they should use or could use Antithesis or not, definitely give it a try. Like at worst, you'll discover something that you will want to know anyway. So it's only take a couple of days to get something started and to have some meaningful results. And if anything, it will help you reason about the different layers that you have in your testing strategy. So yeah, go for it.